Fast food workers, what is your sir? This is a Wendy's moment. I worked at a liquor store a few years back. One day a man walks in and puts 2 bottles of whiskey down, and as I'm scanning the bottles I make the usual small talk. How's your night going? The man took a deep breath and looked me in the eyes and says, well, I just walked in on my 14-year-old son completely naked video chatting a fucking middle-aged man, so it could be a lot better. I didn't quite know what to say, so I told him, oh, that's not good, enjoy your drinks. Dude came to drive-through. I opened the window. Sir, how can I help you? I'm out at checks, he replies calmly. Not sure I follow you, I say. I'm out at checks, he says again more impatiently. Right, I heard you, but I don't know what you want me to do about it. You can pay with cash or card too. Dude gives me a weird look then says, oh this ain't the bank. And peels out away from the window. I'm a pharmacist. I worked at the concession stand at a movie theater in high school. This guy orders a popcorn and large diet Pepsi. Comes back to the counter like 10 minutes later complaining that his soda is carbonated. I explained to him that all of our sodas are carbonated, and he asks me if we had a microwave. We did, so he wants me go into the back and microwave his soda. He wants it warm, but not too warm. Went to the back and had to pour the soda into 2 different cups because the original wouldn't fit into the microwave. Truly bizarre experience. Worked at McDonald's. We would always get people that would ask for a Whopper burger, either seriously or trying to be funny. Cue the exhausted, we don't sell Whoppers sir/ma'am, we have the Big Mac. In response, usually we get an, oh, right, okay, one of those. Until one day we had a guy come through drive-thru that asked for a large Whopper meal, and instant reply back. Sir, we don't sell Whoppers here, we have Big Macs or Quarter Pounders or McChickens. He replied, no, I don't want that, I want a Whopper. Me, sir, we don't sell those. This is a McDonald's. The closest equivalent would be a Big Mac, but it's not a Whopper. If you want an actual Whopper burger you need to go to Hungry Jack's, Burger King. Reply, a freaking Whopper meal. Me, okay sir, I can't give you a Whopper meal here, but I can order a Big Mac meal for you. The Big Mac is the closest equivalent we have, but it is not a Whopper. Are you happy with the large Big Mac meal instead? Him, yes, was that so hard? We give him a large Big Mac meal, and sure enough 10 minutes later he is back through the drive-thru screaming into the speaker that he hasn't gotten his Whopper burger. I worked at a Chipotle for 4 years and got some pretty interesting requests. But I'll never forget the time someone ordered soup. Chipotle doesn't have soup. I promptly reminded her this was a Chipotle, but she insisted we could do it. So we made her soup at Chipotle. It was the grossest concoction of bean juice, sophronitis, mild, medium and hot salsa, and sour cream. She was stoked. Y'all wouldn't believe the amount of disappointed rich people who come to Panda Express and find out we aren't serving authentic Chinese food. Once a well-traveled rich woman came into Panda Express and stood at the buffet line for about 10 minutes, critiquing our mistakes and explaining how Chinese cuisine doesn't actually have fried wontons with cream cheese filling. Ma'am, we just fry what came in the bag from a warehouse in California. I worked at Dunkin', and one time a customer came through the drive-thru and complained to us that the drive-thru was built in a way that made it hard to drive. She started yelling at my co-workers, so I just put down what I was doing and told her, ma'am, we cannot change the construction of the building. Like seriously though, what did she want us to do? I just make sandwiches. I used to work at Target and they hired a new girl who had previously worked at Walmart to work the fitting rooms and by default the intercom system. A few days after she started she was about to make an announcement over the intercom, and I guess habit took over because she started the announcement with "Attention Walmart shoppers." She realized her mistake and made a good recovery with "You are in the wrong store." My family runs a concessions trailer at fairs. Lots of great stories, but this one always sticks out. We have a giant 16 bay steam table directly in front of the serving counter. It's sold and some pans don't sit quite right, so there's always a bit of steam leaking out. Our trailer is built around one item, empanadas, not really but similar. The trailer is even called that. All the signs advertise empanadas in big letters. So one day it's like 90 out, and sweat is just running off of all of us. We are packed, the line is running down the street, and we are 8 servers deep at the window. Customer comes up to the window after standing in line for probably 15 minutes, sees us with soaked shirts and headbands, steam pouring out of the table, and they ask, "What flavors of ice cream do you have?" I worked at a pizza place, and I got a complaint that we delivered sushi. It was a pepperoni pizza, but he could not be convinced. Work at Panera. Guest calls in from car, several people in background, all giving orders for a pickup. First order is something simple, next order is an item we don't carry. A salmon dish of some kind. I know there are some regional Paneras that have or have had salmon. We are not one of them. So I'll let them know, hey, I'm sorry but we don't carry salmon. Maybe, and the person on the other end of the phone cuts me off and starts getting really aggressive. "Yes you do. You do," they scream. "But I don't. We don't." So then I'm like, "Hey, maybe you're thinking of another chain. We are very similar to," and I start to list off some other places, and they cut me off again screaming, "I know you have fucking salmon. What the fuck? I ate it just the other day." And at this point I'm just being honest with them and say, "Hey man, I don't really need this attitude. We don't have salmon. I can't make the dish for you. You have us confused with someone else." There's a long silence, and finally someone, not the person who's been yelling, says, "Wait, this isn't insert some totally not Panera sounding place that I don't remember here. No." And then everyone in the car starts yelling at each other, and I hang up. Customer service is the worst. Worked at a small roadside produce place. My boss had a few different stalls, so I was often left to run the store myself. I remember this lady walked up. "Do you have any tomatoes?" "Sorry we don't, but the place down the street has them." "Then go there." When I was really young and had recently tried fried calamari, I confused it with the fried clam strips at White Castle. I was adamant that they had fried calamari and convinced my dad to order it for me at the window. They laughed at him. I work at a Chili's, and when I was hosting, old people would constantly come in and talk about how weird it was that we redecorated so suddenly, and where did the salad bar go. They thought we were Sizzlers, which was 2 buildings away from us. Happened at least 4 times. I worked in a Jimmy John's. A dude in a military uniform came in asking about a military discount. Told him we don't give military discounts, to which he proceeded to flip out, pull out his phone, and start recording a video, ranting about how we won't give him his military discount like he deserves. I used to manage a Del Taco during my high school teenage years. We had an older man come in once a month and drive straight through the speaker to our window. At said window he'd look at me until I came over, start ordering Starbucks, then midway through realizing it was a Del Taco and drive off. Once a month, every month, for 2 years. Worked at a Dairy Queen. Had a lady saunter in all frustrated, bag in hand, whipped out her receipt, and without giving me much context said, "There's sup to be a Badger blast." I told her, "Ma'am, this is for Taco Bell." She quickly said, "My bad," and sped out of the restaurant. I think she was making up a story and did it in the wrong store. Also, the number of people who asked, "Do you serve ice cream?" is way too fucking high. Not exactly a fast food worker, but I do work in a restaurant and people can get Deliveroo/Uber Eats from us. A couple times a week a driver will show up and show us their phone with an order for a 12-inch sub. "Yeah mate, that's the Subway across the street. We are a pizzeria, read the address." God knows how they find the customers' houses. Someone asked me what type of meat is on the grilled chicken sandwich. I responded, "Muskrat." He didn't think it was very funny. It wasn't me involved, but I witnessed it. I worked at Burger King when I was a teenager. We are short-staffed one day, and the girl on the drive-thru was on break, so our manager stepped in to cover her. He was pretty old and didn't have the best hearing, so most customers were pulling around to the window to talk to him as he was struggling to hear through the headset. Anyway, this one guy rolls up to the window and shouts, "I want a large Big Mac meal with a Coke please." Is that so damn hard? My manager very calmly says, "My apologies sir, that won't be difficult." He leans out of the window and points down the road. "There's a McDonald's about 3 miles in that direction. They'll be able to help. Have a nice day sir." Then he just closes the window and walks around the corner out of sight. I laughed so hard. Back when I was in fast food, I had someone who wanted me to remove all the sesame seeds from the top of a bun. The answer was no. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to consider the idea to maybe think about potentially subscribing. Peace.